Want to know the best way to get started real estate investing? I got the answer for you. Buy a multi-unit building. It's by far one of the easiest ways to get started in real estate, and at the same time one of the quickest ways to start building wealth. Also, if you're currently renting an apartment, then you should really think about buying a multi-unit. I'll give you an example. To live in a 2-bedroom apartment, say you're paying $1,000 a month in rent. Now, for a 2-unit in the Chicago area, you can get that same building for about $200,000 a month, which would give you a mortgage payment of about $1,500 a month. So say if you lived in one unit, rented out the other unit, and got $1,000 a month from that unit, that means you only have to pay $500 on that mortgage. So it's time to start thinking about owning the building. So how do you get started on buying your first multi-unit property? Well, my first step for you would be to start saving up your money. As a general rule of thumb, I would recommend to save at least 5% of the purchase price. Actually, I would try to go closer to 10% because the more money you have, the better. And the reason I recommend to have as much cash as possible is that, well, honestly, it's going to look better to the banks. It's going to look better to the lenders. So if you show up, in your lender's office and you mention to them that you only have $1,000 in your bank account and you want to buy a $300,000 3-unit building, then I can probably imagine what they're going to do. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there one time. I just had to. So how do you start saving up the money to buy a multi-unit building? Well, first, start keeping track of all of your expenses so you can see where your money goes. You might be surprised to see how much money you spend a month just on fast food. And snacks, because Lord knows I buy a lot of snacks. Once you've tracked all your expenses, just take a look at where you spend money and see if there's somewhere where you might be able to save a buck or two. Now, while you're working on saving up your money, I also suggest that you speak with either a mortgage lender or a bank and talk to them about getting pre-approved for a loan. Once you speak with the bank, they can let you know, other things you can do to improve your credit and exactly how much you can actually afford as far as a multi-unit building. Now, I know this is the scary part for some people because nobody really wants to go into the bank and hand them all their W-2s and then find out that they don't qualify for much. But it's a necessary step if you're serious about getting your multi-unit building. I mean, there's really no way around it. Now, for loans, there are 3 main options you can choose from. There's the FHA loan, there's the FHA 203K loan, and there's the conventional loan. Now, the FHA loan is the main loan for first-time home buyers that offers the down payment assistance. With that down payment assistance, that means you really only have to pay 3.5% of the purchase price. Now, the other side of that is FHA is going to do an inspection on whatever property you look at. So if the property isn't in good condition, chances are FHA is not going to loan you the home. So if there's a property that you want to buy cheap and then fix it up, FHA won't allow you to do that. They won't give you the money for it. Now, if you're looking for that home that needs a little bit of repair and you don't mind making the repairs, then the conventional loan would be the option for you. Because with the conventional loan, you don't have to worry about an FHA inspection. On the other hand, conventional loans normally require more in down payment, so usually at least around 5%. So in order to get a conventional loan, you have to save up more money. And also, it requires a higher credit score than with an FHA loan. Now, let's say you don't have enough money for a conventional loan and you don't have enough money for the repairs, but you still want to buy a fixer-upper. Don't worry, there's still a loan option for you, the 203K. With the 203K, the bank will not only pay for the home, but they will pay for the repairs needed to bring the home up to move-in ready condition. The bad thing about the 203K loan is that they are much more difficult to pull off than the other 2 options. In order to have a 203K loan, you have to have a contractor who's not only licensed with the program, but who's willing to front some of his own money to start the repairs because the 203K program won't pay them until they've done at least part of the work. Also, if the repairs turn out to be more than what you budgeted for, that can end up killing the deal entirely after wasting a lot of time. So sellers tend to shy away from 2 or 3K loans unless it's their only option. So now that you got your loans figured out, now it's time to decide exactly what type of building do you want. First thing you want to look at is, the area or the neighborhood that you want to live in. If you plan on moving into one of the units, of course you want to choose a building that you're comfortable living in. If you're not planning on living in the unit and you just want it strictly from the income, then honestly, where it is really doesn't matter. It just depends on, what area you're comfortable working with. Because at the end of the day, you're just going to be getting the money, so you're not going to be taking too many trips to the property, if everything's done right, of course. And as I say that, I get a text from a tenant saying a squirrel is in the attic, and what should she do? I don't know. They'll leave eventually, right? The next thing you want to do is check and make sure that there's a strong demand for rentals in the area that you're looking at. You can do this by doing some research online or by simply hiring a realtor, and they should be able to get all the info and the statistics for you. The next thing you want to do is see how much cash you can get from your building. You can do that by checking around the area and see what similar properties are renting for, so that way you can get a good idea. Once you do that, you can compare that to the expenses you're going to have, such as, your mortgage and your utilities, to make sure that, the numbers work for you. So how much does it cost to get a squirrel out of the attic? Now that you've got that out of the way and you know what you're looking for, now's the time to start looking at properties, the fun part. Make sure to get in touch with your realtor, let them know what you're looking for, and go to town. Start looking at all the possible properties that you can get. Now, I plan on making more videos for real estate and for buyers and sellers, so if you're looking for more info, please be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And as always, if you have any questions for me, feel free to comment or reach out to me. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.